Welcome to another episode of the CDL Driving Academy podcast. And today we have a super special guest, expert in the HR field. And if you don't know what HR stands for, that stands for Human Resources. That's the department that's going to make sure that you enter the door into a new company, make sure you're getting paid and working at the job that you love to work at, and making sure that the environment's staying nice and clean. So that being said, welcome, Steven, the HR expert here at Driving Academy. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Well, you've been part of the team now for how long?
About 10 months now.
10 months, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you've hired a good amount of people so far.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track. I think I've brought, 20 to 25 people into the company since I got here.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. And we've grown. A lot of other companies have grown as well. But we are continuing to grow. We got big dreams and big goals for next year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So pretty much if people who are watching this, they're probably going to be in the trucking field. And the goal of these podcasts is to try to add as much value as possible to our viewers, right?
Absolutely.
So based on your expertise, everybody wants to get a job, or everyone wants to either have a business and kind of hire people. So we're kind of going to guide them through the pros and cons of how to hire somebody if they're looking to hire, or how to actually go through the process of finding the best job that fits their needs. Sounds good?
Absolutely.
Cool. So going through the hiring process here at Driving Academy, we actually do things a certain way. So if somebody did want to work for a great company like ours and wanted to continue to grow with us as we grow and expand nationwide, tell everybody, for maybe the business owners out there, what is our hiring process like?
So the hiring process starts with having a job posting available online, making it visible. So posting on places like Indeed, Glassdoor, Monster, or on your own website or on Facebook. So just make it visible so that people know that you have a job availability. When people start applying to your job, make sure that their qualifications, that they have the experience needed to at least have a basic understanding of how to do the job and that they are capable of doing the job. The first thing that we do when we bring them in is first get a feeling about who they are as a person. So we have this first interview, just a quick phone call with me, 10 or 15 minutes, just to get to know a little bit about who they are, make sure that they align with the culture and values that we're trying to foster here at Driving Academy.
Give me one or two of the best or your favorite questions that you ask in that first interview.
So my favorite question is, tell me about some of the goals that you're looking to achieve, personal, professional. It gives us an idea of, why is it that they're looking to work? Are they just looking to, support themselves comfortably? Is there something that they're looking to accomplish? And Driving Academy, I like to think that we are growing with purpose and we have goals that we're looking to achieve. And I want our team to be able to be on that same page, and having goals of their own makes it easier for us to work together to accomplish everyone's goals.
100% agree. Cool. And so after this first interview is going to be about a 10-15 minute interview. What's the next process?
So the next step, they'd be coming in and speaking with the hiring manager, depending on what it is that they're looking to do. If they're looking to become an instructor, they'll be speaking with our training yard manager. If they're looking to become an examiner, they'll be speaking with our lead examiner. If they're looking to join our sales team, they'll be speaking with our office manager. This will be a little bit of a longer interview, and this is where we really get to the meat and potatoes of the knowledge, skills, and the abilities and the experience that they bring to the table. It's also our opportunity to share with them a little bit more about what the day-to-day of the job looks like and what our compensation and benefits looks like. It's important, of course, to be transparent with people that are interested in looking for a job. Just as much as we're looking for employees, people who are seeking a job want to find something that suits their idea of what it is that they're good at and is able to support them in the way that they need. So we want to make sure it's a conversation where we're learning something and they're learning something.
Perfect. And how do you keep things fun? Because HR can be kind of boring sometimes, and you are definitely not a boring individual.
It is absolutely. There is a lot of paperwork and a lot of administrative stuff going on, but it's important to remember that I started getting into HR because I wanted to make sure that employees have a place that they can work somewhere where they feel energized when they come to work, that they don't feel like there's so much administrative nonsense going on that's holding me back. So it's important to make sure that you are, face-to-face with the people that you're working with, making sure that your presence is known, but also doing things that go beyond just like, here's your paycheck at the end of the week, doing things to recognize our employees, making sure that we're bringing them lunch from time to time, that we're able to show them that we really appreciate them. Like we have a quarterly meeting that we do a fun activity from time to time.
That's true. And so it sounds like 2 interviews so far. After that, if they're good on both those interviews, then what's next?
So once we know that they have the spirit and the culture that will align with the culture that we're looking to develop here at Driving Academy, and that they have the skills and abilities necessary to do the job, the last part is what we call a core value presentation. We have 3 core values here at Driving Academy. They are integrity, accountability, and being results oriented.
That's right.
So the last step in our process is their opportunity to show us how it is that they align with these core values personally and professionally. And this normally looks like a presentation. It doesn't need to be like a PowerPoint or anything. It can be, and I've gotten a few of those, but it's really just an applicant or a candidate's opportunity to show us about how they relate to our core values in their own terms. And once they conclude with that, then we can make the decision whether or not to bring them on board, or if maybe we should hold off on them for the future, or if they seemingly just don't have the alignment that we are looking for.
Well, Stephen, that sounds pretty complicated. They have to go through 3 different interviews just to work here, correct?
That is correct.
But because we do it because we want the best of the best. Me and you kind of worked on that strategy to making sure that we only make sure that we have the best instructors for our students, the best staff for our students, because we want the best for our students to get themselves on the road to freedom. So that's fair.
Absolutely.
Right? But that being said, after somebody goes through that process and now is part of the family, part of our team here, what are some of the perks that they can look to have?
Well, some of the perks include competitive pay. Even amongst the other driving schools, we offer very competitive pay. But in addition to that, we offer other benefits. We have a 401k. We have a health coverage stipend where we're literally giving you money to go and get your insurance. Some places will take money out of your check so that they can give you insurance. We give it to you to get insurance. We offer paid vacation days, paid sick days, paid holidays. And we also give our employees, regardless of where they fit in the organization, the opportunity to upgrade their driver's license. If they ever wanted to get a CDL, we offer that. I'm actually looking into that myself, honestly.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Absolutely.
So those are some of the cool perks that we have that are unique to pretty much a lot of companies don't offer stuff that we have.
Absolutely.
But on top of that, we actually have some extra more fun stuff as well. Explain some of the fun stuff that we do with our team.
Absolutely. So we try to make an effort to make sure that all of our team members are comfortable and they have fun with us, because we work hard and we play hard. So some of the things that we do, we've been to Topgolf, we've gone bowling, we're also planning on going axe throwing in the future. We're going to be doing escape rooms, challenges, cooperative events, things to help bind the team together.
That's true, and have new experiences. In Topgolf, by the way, I actually was winning the whole time until we had, who won that game?
That would be Kirishima.
Kirishima actually wound up winning, and we had a $100 bet on whoever had the highest score that whole time would win. I thought I was going to go home with $100, but it didn't happen. She snuck in right behind me and make sure she won. So that does. We try to treat everybody together as a team. Other things that we've done is like we've surprised people with lunches. We've taken them to different experiences, and the main cool thing that we love about our team here is that it's our job, and I believe it's our job to help them grow personally, professionally, and financially, and get their goals accomplished. Is that fair?
Absolutely. That's 100% a priority of mine. Working with our team to outline what their, as you said, professional, personal, and financial goals are, and being able to, identify what they are and how we can, not just what they are, but how we can accomplish them.
Good.
It's my philosophy that if our team is aware of what their goals are and they know what steps they need to accomplish it, they're going to be more likely to achieve them. That's a fact.
That's it. And how do we actually keep the team in line and the culture? Because we've done a big amount of growth this year. We've actually doubled the amount of team members that we had this year. So what are certain steps that we've done that maybe other people who have businesses can follow in that process?
So it starts with having attentive managers that care about the well-being of their team. So that's why we actually implement a weekly one-on-one system where our managers sit down with every member of their team every week, or some places can do it every other week, depending on how large their departments are, and just get a feeling for how are things, what can we be doing better, how's your performance, how is your life, how is your work here, what can we do to make you feel welcome here. And I've seen that make a huge difference in members of the team, old and new, and it helps them helps the team member be aware of what is going on in Driving Academy. It helps them be aware of what is expected of them, but it also makes them feel heard and makes them feel welcome. And that goes so far in making sure that the team is happy, in making sure they feel comfortable being able to let their manager know, hey, something's up, something is getting in the way of my ability to succeed. Can you help me out with that? And having attentive managers that go out of their way to help their team members succeed goes miles in helping the rest of the team, the whole team, succeed.
That's right. We have big goals for our team. We hold them accountable, but with the right structure in place and everything, they're able to hit their goals and more, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So that's pretty much, if you want to work here at Driving Academy and they want to speak to this guy right over here, what are some things that they have to do? What's some of the steps that they have to go through, like step 1, step 2?
So the first thing I'm going to recommend is that, make sure that your resume is updated. If you're trying to show me that you have the ability to work, that you have the qualifications, it doesn't really help if the last thing that I see you have worked is a company that you haven't worked for 20 years. So make sure that all of your information is up to date. Make sure that's all easily accessible and professional. Have, a resume with your phone number, email, just so that I know how to reach you. Additionally, when it comes time for having interviews or appointments or anything that you need to make an appearance, make sure that you are on time. It really helps. It does not make a good first impression if, I'm really busy, I have places to be, the managers have things to do, and they're being held up.
That's true. Yeah. So be on time and update a resume if you want to work here at Driving Academy, and that's probably good advice if you want to work someplace else too, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
And I think the most important piece of advice that I have is be yourself, be to the point. Don't put on a face and be someone that you're not, because a company is looking to hire who you are, what your qualifications are, and the energy that you bring. So if you're showing up to an interview, with a face that isn't really you, well, it's going to be exhausting for you in the future, and the company isn't going to be able to, they're going to be working with someone that wasn't as advertised. So it's important that, first and foremost, you are yourself.
That's true. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we or any company would hire the individual, right?
Absolutely.
And if you show up correctly, many times they try to do the BS stuff in front of us, and we have to make sure our bullshit meter is calibrated correctly, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? That's something that that anyone working in HR, it's something that you get used to very quickly. It's something that you quickly attune to over time.
So let's talk about, is Driving Academy hiring now, and what are we hiring for? What are our positions?
Of course. Currently, we are hiring for the role of CDL instructors. If you have experience driving, have a CDL, or just want to be able to pass the information that you've accumulated over the years to the next generation of drivers, we gladly suggest that you send us your application. You could find us on Indeed.
Or go to our website at cdldrivingacademy.com. You see all the job openings there. But we also have openings for office people, so salespeople, and CDL examiners and management. So if you have the right character, and if we find the right person, we can find a position for them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. There are some cases in which the right candidate comes along, but the job just isn't available, and it's a real shame to tell someone that fits all the qualifications, that is everything that we're looking for in a candidate, and it's disappointing to tell them, sorry, we can't make room for you. It is my philosophy. If the right person comes along, you'll find a place for them.
That's right. Amen with that. All right, so now let's kind of shift speeds a little bit, and let's talk to the individual who is looking to get their license, now they have their license, we offer lifetime job placement with all of our companies, with all of our students, right? So that's one of the perks of being a student here at Driving Academy, is that you actually get lifetime job placement. So that means we can actually help you find work up until the day you die, but after you're dead, contract's up, right?
Yep.
Good. So say somebody wants to, after they get a license with us, they want to go work for a company, a trucking company, or just in general information, what are some of the things that the individual has to do? First, let's kind of say, how does an individual pick what's the proper career path for them, right? Some advice there. And then let's talk about, from there, exactly what are the things that they have to keep in mind when they're going through the interview process.
Something that people need to keep in mind when they're choosing their career path is realizing that whatever career that they're going for, realize that it's something that they'll be doing every day. So it needs to be something that is not just, supports you, but it's something that you could enjoy doing every day. For a lot of people who are looking to become truck drivers, for example, they need to be okay with sitting behind the wheel in traffic or empty miles, nothing in front of them, for hours at a time, or navigating city streets or narrow parking areas. So they just need to be comfortable on the road and with mastery over the vehicle. So
that's true.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the trucking field itself, that's some of the things you have to be aware of. The other things that you have to be aware of is, hey, do you want a job that's not going to have any boss overview, right? So it's going to just be, hey, you inside of a truck and you're kind of your own boss managing yourself. A nice peaceful environment. If you want a job that you can listen to music all day, or you listen to podcasts like this one, you can do that in this field as well. If you want a job that you can go travel the country with, this is something that you can do, or you could say local. When it comes to trucking, there's a bunch of different areas out there. And even if you have your CDL license, there's actually different jobs that you can do that do not require driving, but require you have a CDL license. So like say you want to be an instructor here, right? There's not that much driving our instructors do.
Absolutely. The most driving that occurs is when a student is, they get really nervous or they're not comfortable driving and they're already out on the road. That's really just about it.
Yes, and I can tell you guys stories and stories of when I was an instructor and I would take a student on the road and I had to drive the truck back. I mean, there was some times where I actually thought, okay, pull the truck over, let's switch seats. I've actually thought about leaving the guy on the side of the road and driving the whole truck back because he pissed me off that much. But that did not happen, at least not with me, right? But
not that you're willing to say.
Correct, exactly. I will not confirm nor deny. All right, cool. So finding the right path, understanding, hey, yes, they have to make money, but it's something that they have to be willing to do day in and day out.
Absolutely. But it is also important to consider the lifestyle that you'll be able to live with whatever career that you're choosing. You'll be out on the road. If you're going OTR, you're going to be over the road for a lot of the time. So you're not going to be home every other day or every day to be able to enjoy your nice house, for example.
Which is 100% fair. Yeah. The other thing that they have to do is sometimes you have to go through a sacrifice phase, right? So me starting this business, I went through years and years of that sacrifice phase, knowing how much I wanted to get to my ideal dream and my ideal lifestyle. So sometimes we have students who are sacrificing in the beginning, willing to eat that poop, as you can say, to make sure that you can actually save up, so then you can actually get the lifestyle that you want. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Every industry has that entry level. Even if you need a special credential to get into it, like a CDL, there's going to be everyone else that just got their CDL that's getting those entry level jobs. So you do need to start from somewhere. Correct. And typically you're not starting at the top. It is very much possible to work your way up depending on the effort, the drive, and your flexibility, because you can probably guess better than I can that, you need to be flexible in order to succeed.
That's right, 100%. And you have to be able to adapt, I guess is the better word for that. Whether you're starting a business or whether you're working for a company, the more adaptable you are, the more you can kind of utilize your skill set in many different ways. The more you can problem solve, the better off you're going to be. And
you have to be willing to learn. Learn from your mistakes, learn from the people around you, because if you are stubborn, if you're not learning, then you're not growing.
That's right.
And you can't move up if you're not growing. So,
that's true.
Everyone wants to leave where they are and move up.
That's fair. So say, okay, I know exactly what kind of career path I want to go for now. Question number one, do I apply for every single company, a lot of companies, a little bit, medium, or just one?
So that really depends, I guess, on what it is that you're looking to do. If there is a role that you're looking for and you need to start somewhere, cast that net wide. You'll see that a company will have different ways of being reached out to. Like we have multiple pages, different websites that have our job postings. It is very much okay to send out a very wide net. And when you get to further along in the process, then you could start being more selective about where do I go for second or third interviews, if there are any. So once you have an idea of what it is that you want to do, you can hone in on it. But when you're just starting out, I recommend casting that net wide.
Nice. And some advice on that, just like a business mindset, marketing wise, is when you're applying for work, one step is cast your net wide, but two is you want to make yourself be different than anybody else. Because a guy like Steven gets hundreds of resumes all the time. So what are some things that somebody can do that really can jump off the page and maybe show you that they're taking that extra step to work for us or any other company?
Absolutely, yeah. I see, like you said, hundreds of resumes. Sometimes I only have a few seconds to scan through them before I have to decide whether or not they have what it takes. So things that you can do is, there are a lot of things that will immediately screen you out, and that's things like typos, errors, or just a very unprofessional display. It doesn't need to be pristine with very closely measured margins and graphic design, but it needs to show that you've put effort into it and that you've put thought into the way that you've phrased your accomplishments and your achievements. That's the next thing that I recommend is, if you have some experience already, put specific achievements. If you've won awards, list those. If you have, for example, if you've been driving for a long time, you could say, I've had so many miles. Things like that show you have more than just, I worked here for 20 years and they kept me, because that can mean a whole lot of different things. But if you have specific numbers, metrics, stats, that really helps.
Nice. Very cool. And if they wanted to take that one step closer, things that I know has worked for us and why we've become aware of people is make a phone call, right? Contact the company, see who's in charge of HR, get to know a few different people. If that's really the company that you want to work for, HR can be the decision maker, but there's people who influence that individual itself, right? Find out who HR's email is and send them an email directly. A lot of times on the job posting, there's actual contact information in there. And if you do those small things, but not just once because it can get lost in the shuffle, but you constantly keep following up, you can pretty much guarantee that they're going to get an interview. There's no guarantee that they'll get hired, but now we're going to know about them.
Absolutely. The most important thing is getting your foot in the door, because after that, most companies will have some sort of process where you can't really fudge it. But getting your foot in the door is where there's the most room, most activity, most space for a candidate or an applicant to make their name known in the way that gets the attention of the recruiter, of the HR person. For example, on all of our job postings, we have my email address. It's hr@cdldrivingacademy.com. If you're interested in applying, send me an email with your resume. But what I mean to say is, my email is on every job posting, and the people that, and I'm getting dozens of applications. It is a lot to read through on top of my other duties. Having someone send me an email, I'm like, oh wait, I recognize that name. Or I've gotten phone calls. All right, you're interested in a job? All right, I have a few minutes. Let me get to know you a little bit better. And in addition to that, though, going a little bit further, it's important to be mindful of, being respectful of each other's time and responsibilities. I might not have the time immediately to talk to someone, but that means I'm going to be likely to set up an appointment with you later. If you don't get an appointment from me, well, reach out to me and we can set up an appointment.
So if you don't have a job and you're looking for a job, that is your job. You're looking for a job. And it's very easy to make applications on all the sites, Indeed, Monster, and all that stuff too. But take that extra step, make a few phone calls, send a few emails directly to talk to that person individually, and then you will actually get your foot in the door and get things going. If you just take massive action, you're going to get it no matter what. Now, getting into this economy, a lot of people are saying, hey, there's a lot of big companies who are already doing layoffs. How do they pick the right company, the right career choice, to making sure that they're secure in that economy itself?
So, like you just said, applying for jobs is a full-time job. So, while an employer is going to be doing a lot of research on their candidates through their interviews and through their whole hiring process, it is also a candidate's responsibility to do research on the company that they're applying to. So that means looking on their website, seeing their culture. If they appeared on the news somewhere, read what the articles are. Did they do good things? Are they doing like social action? Or are they laying off everyone? It's your responsibility to do research, because there's plenty of information out there. All you need to do is look.
That's right. Yeah, and that actually helps you out in the interview as well. When you come to the interview with that information done, then it makes it a lot easier as well.
The very first question, if I may, question I ask people is, what do you know about Driving Academy? What research have you done about Driving Academy? And very often I hear, I haven't done any research yet. And, you know, when my very first question, the answer to my first question is, I don't know, that doesn't really paint a great picture.
Doesn't start things off on the right foot, that's for sure. That's fair. Cool. So I know you're busy, you have a lot of things to do. So pretty much what we've talked about is cast a wide net, making sure that your resume is on point, and making sure that you jump out the page to actually get your foot in the door. And one or two simple things that they should be worrying about in the interview process itself to make sure that they go through that process smoothly.
Absolutely. So the first thing is, make sure you're asking the question. Usually the interviewer is not trying to play a mind game or is trying to play 5D chess with anyone. They want to, if they're asking you a question, it's because they want to know the answer to that question. What is your thought process? So especially in questions about like a previous experience, tell me about a time you did this. I don't want a 10-hour monologue about how tangentially related things occur. I want to know, how did, in situation X, this happened, this is what I did about it, and here's what the result was. Mm-hmm. So being mindful of what the question is being asked and answer it directly. We're not looking for a 10-hour monologue.
Simple, yeah. So that's pretty cool stuff. So that kind of gives you a good understanding of how things work. Hopefully that you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, make sure you comment below. If you want to work for our company, make sure you comment below. But on top of that, make sure you actually send Steven an email itself, right? And then that's going to be hr@cdldrivingacademy.com. Now, when it comes to the whole recession piece, it is super important in this next year. A lot of the big people are saying, hey, this might be a little bit of a scary year for a lot of people, and recession might be coming. Recession means layoffs. There's a lot of tech companies and bigger companies that have already started this process, which means you might want to change your career path and make sure that you're in a very secure environment. So getting into the CDL world is actually probably one of the most secure jobs in America. If everything was shut down, just like it wasn't too long ago, right? Truck drivers are still getting paid. They were considered essential workers. Our economy is designed to work based on shipping products from point A to point B. We don't have factories in our houses, so that means we have to go to the store and pick it up. That means truck drivers had to get paid to deliver that thing there. So if you want to change your career and get yourself into a secure environment, no matter what happens to the economy, you can provide food and enjoyment for your families and friends that you support, then getting a CDL license might be one of the best ways to do that. If you have a CDL license already and you want to work for a great company where we're constantly growing, you can come apply here at Driving Academy. If you don't have your license yet, then you can be a student here. Check out our website at CDLDrivingAcademy.com so we can walk you through that entire process. We'll show you how we can guarantee that we get your license and guarantee we get you a job making more money. And if you're watching this in 2022, you want to sign up today because our prices are going to be increasing in the new year. So make sure you take advantage of that and just give our team a call at 908-525-3609. Does not matter where you live in the country, we can help you out and we can lock you in. Thank you very much, Steven. I appreciate you. You're doing an amazing job here, and next year is going to be even better.
Agreed.
Very good. Thank you, guys, and hope to get you on the road to freedom and hope to see you in person one day. Thanks, and have a fantastic day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully, we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.